Green skies, just a blight stretch. God damn these new sights. I swear to God, no one told me how crazy these were going to be. I tried it in my Drake Navy here, you know, Katie. I thought it was going to be a breeze. I killed a bunch of NPCs. Get to this last dude. He warps on top of these guys. I'm like, okay, it's a Vindicator. He hopefully doesn't have a scram here. He'll have his like 9% web, and I can warp off if he gets close. You know, no baller. He scrams me. At this point, I'm starting to sweat a little bit. But the Drake Navy actually isn't doing so well. And we do end up losing this Drake Navy. And I'm very sad, because this is probably one of my favorite ships, right? I was looking to get some good kill marks on this ship. It's like a 300 mil plus Drake Navy. I got some of the modules back, but I was so sad. And these sites, man, they're pretty nuts, man. I warped in. There's like, you know, these like Hugans. There's a lot of damn ships. Of course, they aren't as powerful as like the player ships, or these sites would be ridiculous. I do recommend going into something that's actually quite well tanked into these sites and has some does okay against newt strikes. Like I believe it's Macarials and the signables in these sites that newt. The newts didn't do too much to our Drake Navy, so I was pretty much passive. It did stuff to the MWD, but I was kind of about trying not to get scrammed. Get scrammed by that dude, and things do not go well. So I come back and have a Raven. Kill the main dude just to see what kind of loot I sacrifice myself for. It's not that great. The pyro, like all the agency boosters are back, and they are dropping overseer personal effects, and I get a Tempest spirit skin, which are quite nice skin set actually. So, but these are also, I'm not sure if the low sec and high sec ones are dropping the new savior implant BPCs. Do comment below if that's the case, because I'd be curious to see that. But I was watching Setonia's stream, and he was in the wormhole sites, and they did drop the new blueprints. So this was the first fight of... Oh, I've mixed up my days, mate. This is like the footage from the last 3 days. Sorry about that, I got lazy. I make some mistakes against this scythe. This is the dual... what I assume to be the dual rep cap injected scythe, and I'm the XLASB dual prop scythe. He will also be dual prop, but he has the web and the sustain. Whereas I have a bit of sustain, I have the newt. I'm really hoping that the newt takes effect here, but I didn't actually realise that this bloke had bigger guns than that. 220s. What I should really have done with my 180s is orbit him, say like 3k or something, to get a better tracking on our side. Might get some damage from him. I was hoping the newt would do me work here. It doesn't end up doing so, but I feel like in most cases, the dual rep fit should beat the XLASB version if we can like nuke through or damage his cap, right? 'Cause there's a lot of sustain in that fit. The problem with the XLASB fit is it's basically just a glorified like shield buffer fit, if you get me. So once your XLASB charges are out and you're on reload, you're in a very bad spot. At this point, I'm running low. I should have maybe called it. He might have been bait tanking me here. If so, very well played. Or he might have been actually struggling. So I could have maybe, you know, dip at this point. I do try and dip at now, but I'm far too late in calling that. But nevertheless, GF to this dude. He put it very well. I've done some poor mistakes. I don't actually know if I'd be able to orbit him since he has a web too well, but GF. Okay, then I went on a little roam with the Phantasm out there. There was a sweet little hole to Mencia. This wasn't too interesting fight. Kill this cover tower and get a point in the porpoise. If I was smarter and on point, I could have got a scram in one of those porpoises, maybe pointed the other to keep them there. I totally wasn't thinking it in that instance. So we get the cover tower and then we work down this porpoise. Nothing too crazy, but this gets us on intel. Maybe some of the dudes will come after us, give us an actual fight here. So ideally this isn't the kind of thing we want, just like fragging miners. It's nice and all, but we really want a good fight. We do actually end up getting a nice little fight. So I tackle this procure. Put TPS into them, you know. I'm hoping that someone's going to heal our form, help their buddy, see what they bring. If not, it's a kill for me, and then I can maybe head back to fair at this point. Some seems like miners and stuff, and not getting actually any good fights. So I'm hoping, you know, as I just whittle through these procure, that's like I see Mac and what else was that, Mega on these guys. I'm hoping that one of them come and help him. Preferably that Mega. I feel like it'd be quite hard to deal with a Macarial in this Phantasm. So the Mega's on 1, so I'm like, oh, excellent, excellent. So I can kite him out, his blasters won't reach out too far, and if he's rails, I can orbit him close. So I'm just going to keep him at range here, just plink away with Scorch, see what else comes, or it's just himself. Navy on D-scan, I'm like, oh, fantastic. So I start pulling off at this point, hoping to separate him from the Mega. The Mega shouldn't have too much range at this point, but I'm hoping that the Navy like just rushes for me, which he does. He's a Rammy boy. Oh, he's not Rammy boy fit. He's long point, basically the pulse Navy that you see all the time. So I basically just want to beeline DPS down that Navy. Started watching out for the Crow, but that Crow can't do much to me just because he does have a web. Scrams don't do anything to us since we're AB. Bonus, right? That's one of the great things about the Phantasm. So I'm looking down this Navy, and I'm pretty happy with the outcome. It's a shame that Mega didn't stay. Had I got long point on him again, I could just plink away at him with Scorch and maybe force another fight, or just whittle down the Mega. So we killed that dude. I'm lighted out here, hoping, and we tracked that one thing. That Crow didn't do it correctly, but yes, never mind. GF. Okay, this is a cracking little fight I got on my Firetail actually. This was the same Firetail I was in the previous video, just the RA dual web. Nothing too crazy. We've got a kind of nice little pod going for this. I think I'm running Genos and some 5% hard wangs for damage, so we're getting more volley than what you'd usually without a Firetail. So this fight starts initially with 2 Atrons, looking to just nuke them, which I feel like we'll do. 2-shot that Atron, easy. Then we're just going to pull range from this Atron, get out of his blaster range and just nuke him. So that's cool. This wouldn't have been too much of an interesting fight if it was just those 2 Atron. Slasher comes. Okay, that's fine. That's another easy frag, and then other stuff starts appearing. I'm like, oh no! But what we're going to do is I'm going to line out here. Try and DPS down this Slasher. Thankfully the Fenave Comet or the Tormentor don't get on me right away. The Tormentor should be able to apply its damage out to me though, which is a bit rough. I'm not sure if they put both their drones on me at this point. Had they done so, it would have been very rough for me. So I believe I switched to Deplete. Big mistake there, you'll see. I had my small Ansi running there. That was catastrophic, by the way. Don't do what I do. We aren't even in armor yet. I was just blindsided, not focused. So basically, yeah, we want to separate these guys. If I can kill that Slasher, that's A-okay. I want to try and get that Fenave Comet. Actually, I'm trying to, like, just escape at this point. It doesn't occur to me how far the Fenave Comet's gotten from the Tormentor at this point. So since I see that he's starting to get a bit close, far away from him, I switch from Depleted to, I believe, see, we're using gold ammo with this, boys. Domination, you see that? Oh boy. So yeah, I maybe should have forced off the Slasher before I went in here to kill this Fenave Comet, but the Slasher isn't doing too much to us because I don't believe he has any DPS. He's just like a tackle fit. So I'm going to keep this Comet at AK. I don't even check his guns. That could have been bad for me. He could have been rails, but he does end up being blasters, which is perfect. AK will keep me out of fall off range of null. I'll still get occasional hit at 8k, I feel. Maybe I should have kept that 9k and heat the scram. But with the heat, that AB, it's looking a bit rough. I shouldn't have really kept that scram heated like I am just now. That's a bit rough. So you'll see why I shouldn't have used all my charges, right? This gets pretty gnarly. Tormentor's getting pretty close, and Tormentor's going to apply out quite far, especially if they're beam fit, which I think this particular gentleman was. I'm looking to kill this Fenave Comet pretty soon, but just because of their crazy tank, Comets are too tanky. It takes a while to do so. I'm hitting hull at this point. I'm starting to stress a little. But I know he's going to go down, and I'm hoping to just nuke this Tormentor. Had I had paste, because our initial hit on this Tormentor is blooming huge, mate, was that 800. One more shot would have had it, but because your boy didn't have paste, we lose it. So that's a nice little fight against those guys. GF for sure. Okay, this is a little bit of Krur PvP. Rest in peace, this Krur, by the way. After this fight, I worked to a novice and it died still Cloaky Loki, which I'm very sad about. This was quite a blingy little Krur, you know, I'm having a little bit of fun. So I've got both of my Nosses on this and curses. I'm looking him out incredibly quickly. I'm not too concerned with that Tristan at the moment because he doesn't really rely on cap for his drones and his DPS. So once we cap out this Incursus, I'm going to switch one of the Nosses over to the Tristan. This is a triple newt Tristan, which is quite interesting. It does force me to like push my cap, right? But I'm just constantly nossing off him. He has a cap injector, so not too much of a concern. I've killed Incursus at this point. I can tank this guy easy. What's it called? capacitor becomes a problem because I believe he's probably capped out at this point. I can't take any off him. Once he caps up, you'll notice I start to take a lot more cap off him and I'm able to run my Ripper. The bad thing about the crew is his DPS is pretty anemic, but it's got a nice little tank, right? I really enjoy this crew fit. It's just goddamn shame like gate sliding is not like reinstated yet, man. Gate sliding needs to come back because all these cloaky Lokis and stuff, they're bad for business. But GF to those two. This crew is fun. That's a nice little engagement. Okay, after that little bit of solo, we decided to go on a little roam. I believe this was Trinity's like going away roam because he's taking a little break from Eve for a couple of months. Just to do some IRL stuff, which we all need from time to time. Take a wee Eve detox, as it were. So we actually find that ESS, there was 400 mil in that, we steal that, which was quite funny. I talk about shit in locals, just get the locals a bit riled. It's not meant in any way, shape or form in a bad way. You know, a bit banter. Hopefully people can take that kindly. What it does end up in us catching is a Rockwell. He's in a belt. We're hoping that they form something that we can fight. They form up something that we can't fight. Who knew that rogue wheels are now being used for like PvP, mate? Like, it can't be used for mining anymore. You'll see. And I'm dropping like, I don't know, what is it, like 20 rogues with sentry drones, which was fun. So we have to end up disengaging. I end up going to a safe and self-destructing after my timer expires because I cannot be bothered taking the jumps back that Maggie. And if air was too far out. But this is more so, bring back filaments, CCP. And if you must, put them into data sites, right? I feel like that's a fantastic idea. It'll make data sites more relevant compared to relics, right? People actually start running datas more. And, you know, you get the filaments back. I mean, everyone wants the filaments back. It was a very fun, glorious time. Okay? But, GF to these gentlemen in Fountain. This was hilarious. Someone spotted a Rockwell and Ossiker gate, which are high set gate and Amaki. Poor guy was in a Rockwell. He didn't know that Rockwells can get to high set, so we start shooting him for a bit. He ejects. We were on, what do you call it, TeamSpeak and Discord. Dude, we need the Rockwell pilot, like, now. One pops on, and we get a free Rockwell. So that was a great thing to end yesterday. Okay, this is a cracking little fight. The Rifter came in initially, but I see two Crucifiers on the outside. I don't beeline it for the Rifters. I really want to catch one of these Crucifiers before it pulls range. Expecting some form of TD fit. I wasn't too sure whether they were going to be AB or MWD. It appears that they were MWD. And thankfully, I killed that Cruci before he pulled range. So you'll notice that the range of my faction missiles was like 7.5k there, and the Rifter was getting out of that. Had both of the TDs been on me, I don't think Javelin would have been able to project out to this guy. I have two ballistic TDs on me as opposed to the one. So I switch to Javelin, I'm projecting out to this Rifter now. I'm pretty chill. They are getting through my shield buffer at this point, but I still have a small anti. And I'm wondering whether... They probably don't think I have a armor tank, so you probably think I'm going to die soonish. So I bait tank a little bit on this Cruci. This Cruci gets a bit too close. And I guess he's thinking I'm really low because I'm in hull. Activate a small anti. I'm close to getting scram. Get scram, and that's pretty much GG at that point. So GF to those guys, that's a quality little fight. Okay, this is another nice fight. They actually sent Tristan in first here in this duo. It's always the Punisher comes in first. So that's very peculiar. I've always want to go for that Tristan first though before the Punisher. Punisher's going to be a brick. And the Tristan is potentially kitey. And if he pulls range and the Punisher gets a scram on me, that's detrimental. So we kill the Tristan, that's perfect. Now what I want to do is orb out far this Punisher, about 7.5k, because he's blaster fit, I notice. And now I am hating myself. So I didn't realise that this guy didn't have a scrap. God damn it! He didn't have a scrap or a long point. This is quite a close fight regardless, but we do end up losing it, and I didn't see that TD, mate. I should have been more on it. This was just from like literally an hour ago. I didn't see the long point or scram. I died. Oh god. God damn it! But GF to those guys. I'm an idiot. That was a lovely little fight. Blaster Punishers are insane. So, yes, that's the content I got for the past 3 days. I've been taking it a little bit easier than what I usually would. Playing a bit of our games, just get like a little Eve detox, like we've mentioned before, man. Like, I've been off for 2 weeks now. It's come to end, man. I'm back Friday and I am dreading it. But I'm, like, burning myself out Eve because of the amount I'm playing. So, I'm taking a little bit of back burner. Played a bit of Battlefront 2, so that's why you haven't been seeing that video every day. that was a nice little break. I'll be back on it. Try and get this video at least one every 2 days. I think that's my plan. But yeah. But I do hope you guys enjoyed your days, your weekend. I think we're on Saturday. I've lost track of time. But weekend, enjoy. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the rest of my days off. Yes. Okay, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Try and get you a video up tomorrow, if not the next day. And yes. Okay, take care, boys.